Hey guys, Lucky here. Today I want to talk through the major points of the new patch update for the open beta that devs announced yesterday. You can find the whole video on CDPR Twitch, and I'll also post a link to the website I will be using here. This is a post on Reddit by a user PI143. So great thanks to him for submitting this. So I want to go through all the points. You can look into them if you want to. I will only go through the points that I think are the major hit here and what I think they did good and bad, pretty much, about the whole patch. Nothing is final yet, I think, but pretty much they're going to keep it probably as it is. So the first, we go through the journals, and one thing that I really like is they increased the value of scraps you get for milling your commons and rares by 100%, which means you'll get twice as much scrap, which will give, well, some additional scraps that would make it easier to craft the legendary cards or the epic cards that you might need. Also, if someone bought kegs, like actual kegs, they're going to get more scraps as a gratitude. I personally didn't encounter this, but apparently you could get leaders in kegs, which is going to be removed. That's also a good change. Leaders should be something that you either get through the challenge or crafting. It should not be... I mean, the challenges are free. It's not that you need to pay for them. You just need to actually win them. So that's actually a very, very good thing. They should have that kind of a flavor to them that you need to, try a bit to get the leaders. I know some people did finish the challenges, but yeah. Also, Dagon and King Bran's challenges will be made a bit easier. The idea of the challenges is that they should be all doable with the starter decks, which Dagon is not really doable right now. It has very strong weather effects. It's very strong weather control altogether. So it's really hard. I spent, I think, 2 hours trying to do it, and then I finally did it, but it took me a long time. Fixed connection issues, so services interrupted and things like that. So I think that's a work towards the reconnection, but it's not there yet. On the general stuff, also all mages will have 4 strength. So yeah, they want to standardize all the silver mages, so you can have clear sky, 1 weather effect and 1 utility effect. I think putting them at 4 strength is actually quite good, because lots of removal is at 3 strength, and then you can't, decoy them or generally reuse them. So I like this change. I like this change a lot. So for all factions, Unicorn and Chironex are gold again. And Skellige Storm is now affecting from left to right rather than other way around. The idea behind this is most of the units that are spawned, like Harpies from Harpy X, or general stuff that is spawned on a regular basis, is spawned on the right. Or Morgvark being resurrected, or things like that, is spawned on the right. Which means it's always going to be spawned in the Skellige Storm, which makes it... Well, it's pretty much always going to die to the Skellige Storm, which is not really what they want to see. They want to see more of tactical play against Skellige Storm. So now you need to pay your attention to the positioning on the left. On the right, everything that's spawned is going to be pretty much safe. There is a buff for consume monsters altogether. So Necker is going up to 3 power, Unseen Elder is going to 5, Behemoth is going to 6. They wanted Behemoth out of Al's standard range, so it can be used at least once before it's removed. Katan goes back up to 5, Karen goes down to 8, and the same goes for Tiber. They didn't Kieran and Tiber were very similar cards because they could both, by giving your opponent a single card advantage, you could pretty much put a 25 easily on the field. So they want to remove that. So Kieran now is going to be 8 plus whatever it consumes plus 8, so it's 16 plus whatever it consumes. Tiber is going to be reduced to 8 as well, so it's not going to be 25, it's going to be 23 now. Fiend got a boost, it's now a 7 strength lock, which is... I personally like this change because I like Fiend as a card. It's a really good card. Nitro only boosts frost effects. This is... Nitro boosts only frost effects on opposing rows. I encountered it a couple of times when I played Nitro and then my opponent played Frost and I was actually punished by that Frost. Nitro should support you and this is what it does now. Foglet will be destroyed only when the last fog is removed, not only on the opposing row. So if you play Fog, you get your Foglets, then your opponent plays a Fog on your row, then he removes the Fog on his row. Your Foglets still stay, which is a good change, because otherwise it was way too easy. They were very unstable value Foglets. They were pretty much used for deck thinning. Now they're much more stable value, especially with a deck that can play multiple Fogs. Speaking of Fogs, Woodland Spirit went up to 7 strength. And now for Skellige. That's one of the changes that I'm really, really happy. They didn't make the whole archetype unusable. They made it much weaker, which I find I'm personally happy about. Clan Brokvar Hunter. He lost his veteran tag and he got a regressing tag added, which means that he's a 5 strength flat. He deals 3 damage, and right now people are boosting it to stupid amounts. I mean, I've seen hunters going into 20 odd strength because it's boosting the base strength. And then round 3 they just Priestess of Freya, Resurrect Hunter, and good game. This is way too powerful. A bronze card that grows to 20 strength that can be resurrected afterwards, plus a veteran tag, that was way too much. So yeah, I'm happy that it's a regressing now and it doesn't have a veteran. Clan and Cried Warcrier now loses only 1 strength. It's only weakened by 1 rather than by 2 for every unit affected, which is a decent change. Berserker Marauder got a boost. Clan and Cried Warrior got a boost. Jutan Demon as well. Savage Bear has a change. The effect is exactly the same. What they changed is the order in which it works. So as you all know, Savage Bear were run in the Skellige deck basically as a counter to Vicovaro Medic or Priestess of Freya to make it impossible for your opponent to resurrect anything. Now, first the resurrecting units will trigger, and only then Savage Bear will damage them. Which means you will get your resurrect, and only then Savage Bear will deal damage. They made this change, well, to make Savage Bear not a counter that you want to play in every deck, but a tool for the harming Skellige, for the crippling Skellige. So it's not going to be played in a self-harm just to counter the Vicovaro Medics or Priestess of Freya of your opponent. And it got boosted to 5 strength. Also, Queensguard got their veteran tag removed because you can still abuse them. You can still, with Operator, you can have 4 of them. With there's a silver guy that can give them base strength. You can boost them a lot. So yeah, I think the veteran was unneeded there, and they're still powerful with Ceres. So I'm generally very happy with the Skellige changes here. I think that's going to do some good to general meta. Northern Realms. One thing that I do want to say is that lots of units got the crewman tag. K20 Sergeant got the crewman tag, Blue Striped Scout got the crewman tag. So they're much more useful in the siege decks. What else? The siege machines, Redanian Knight got boosted. Reinforced Ballista is up to 6 strength now. Fortress is up to 5 strength. John Natalis went down to 8 strength, but he does not have an effort cost anymore, which means that you can actually play John Natalis how he should be, a big finisher. You have 3, 4, or 5 machines, you just smash Natalis on the field, and they all just deal 2 damage to a random enemy, which gives Natalis a proper gold value. Previously, for every machine that actually used this effect, he lost 1 base power, which didn't give enough. You were not able to have as many machines as the devs probably thought, because the devs thought that you might be able to keep, I don't know, 10 machines and then smash Natalis, and then that would be brilliant. But it's impossible. So there was not enough value there. It was not a decent gold card. With this change, Natalis is actually going to see some play. I'm really happy about this, because the siege machines, when they showed them with the crewmen and all the stuff, were really, really cool, and I can't wait for them to be actually playable. Scoia'tael. And now, the spell Scoia'tael with Dol Blatana Protector was a hard thing to deal with. Now they are reduced to 2 strength, which has lots of implications. First thing, Nilfgaard got a very easy counter for them, which is Peter, which just resets them and removes them from the board. If you played right now Peter on them, they still stay on the board, they can still play more special cards, and they actually gain strength, which is not very good. Mardromer can also remove it. But Dol Blatana Protectors right now do not get strength from a gold effects, which means that your Ragnarok and your Drow are not going to give the strength to Dol Blatana Protectors. There is some number changes, nothing really important. Dwarven Mercenary, oh, that's an important thing. Dwarven Mercenary is now also part of a move archetype. I think this is made to make Jorvet a bit more playable as well. You can move also enemy units. They won't get buffed, but you can move them so they can be shot by Jorvet if you have Jorvet. Or you can still move your own units and then give them +3 strength. So maybe a move will see a bit more play. Also, Mahakam Defender got a bit of a nerf. It boosts a dwarf only by 4, not 5 anymore. So I guess they didn't like dwarves being very powerful. One thing I think I didn't mention. Yes, they didn't mention here. It's not mentioned here. The Golden Weather is actually... Oh yeah, here it is. Ragnarok and Drought is changed. Right now it doesn't deal 3. Right now it deals 3 damage to the highest or lowest unit, a single unit. It's going to go down to 2 damage. This is to prevent the swing they have right now, because if you play Ragnarok or Drow, you're bound to get 6 or 9 swing on them alone, and then your opponent needs to make a low tempo play where they don't get any strength just to remove the weather, which is a horrible exchange. I personally don't think lowering the damage is worth it. I think that I mean, right now it's a bit like Torrential Rain or Fog being played on every row, just a bit weaker because they affect only 1 unit. I don't like the fact that the weather triggers at the beginning of a turn. I think it should trigger at the end of the turn. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It should trigger at the end of the turn rather than the beginning. At the beginning of the turn, you have nothing to say. It's they play the weather, then you're hit. And it's done deal. On the other hand, playing weather usually is low tempo play, so it does need to bring something. I just think that in case of Golden Weathers it was too much. I still think it's going to be too much because it's still going to be 4 or 6 damage. I know it's not as bad as a definite 6 damage, but I think people that will be playing the Gold Weathers will try now to make sure that it hits 3 units. In Nilfgaard it's still going to be popular because you can just put the spice on different rows and then make the weather hit it. Going to Nilfgaard, the cancer right now. So they did not change the effect of any card, which I'm unhappy about it. They changed some values which might change a bit, but okay, so John Calvey now is down to 3 strength, Vikovara Novice is down to 1 strength, Imperial Golem is down to 2 strength, which means if you are lucky enough, so you play Calvey into 3 golems, that's 9 strength, then you get Emissary, and then you pull out 3 novices, so that's 12 strength, and then you get a brigade, which is going to be 8, that's 20 strength rather than 30 strength. They removed pretty much 10 strength, almost. No, 10 strength exactly. They removed 10 strength exactly from the starter, which still can put you on 18 ahead if you're lucky, and it is a powerful play, but I think it's more manageable. Devs do seem to miss the point though. Imperial Golems, doesn't matter how much strength they have. If they were a 0 strength bronze units that jump out of the deck when you use your leader ability, I would still play 3. This is down to numbers. If you have less cards in your deck, means you're more likely to draw certain cards that you need. So playing a 22 card deck versus 25 card deck with all the draw and deck thinning that beside that Nilfgaard can get, makes it like an old discard Skellige that was playing Siri Dash. They could pretty much by round 3, by using all the discard effects and draw effects and rally effects and everything, they were easily able to get down to make sure that they will draw Siri Dash in the round 2 and round 3. And actually Nilfgaard can do the same. I was playing a couple of games, I will be uploading tomorrow probably, and yeah, Siri Dash was constantly coming up, and that's the point of it. I mean, it's the best if you can win without Siri Dash and then just drop her, but being able to constantly drop Siri Dash throughout the 3 rounds is powerful. So this is the problem I'm having with it. It doesn't matter if Vikovara Novice has only 1 strength. I can understand that it reduces the tempo play. I'm not sure if that's enough. I definitely don't like the change to golems because they pretty much didn't do anything. They just removed some strength, which was not the problem. They fixed a couple of bugs, which was Vikovara Novice giving 12 strength, now always gives 10 strength. Vikovara Novice, when used on Ambassador, for whatever reason it read it as a closed beta version, which gave 12 strength rather than 10. Again, more numbers. Peter now is down to 4 power, which I think is a healthy change. 6 power was a lot. That was a very strong swing, especially if you reset your opponent's unit and then damaged it on top. Well, weakened it on top. So that was a really, really powerful swing, Peter. So down to 4 strength, I think it's a very fair change. Van Hema is up to 4, as I said about the mages. Assis Van Anahid. Okay. Apparently there was a bug that did let you put gold cards back into the deck. But there's something else I noticed on the stream. Assis can only put cards from your graveyard into your deck right now. But Assis that they showed on the stream can put cards from either graveyard into its owner's deck. Which means sometimes I was playing Assis just for the sake of putting Roach back in my deck, and I didn't want anything more in my deck because that would just clog my deck when I was playing Siri. And I was unable to stop. So I just put Roach and something into the deck. Unless I was able to stop and I don't know about it, then that's my own fault. But I find it's going to be a peculiar thing, for example, to stop the Queen's Guard. Just put their Queen's Guard back into the deck. They can't resurrect anymore. I would take that if I can. So yeah, Tiber is down to 8 and Rheinfein is up to 7. So those are generally the changes. There's lots of number changes. You might want to come and see the post on Reddit. I will put it down in the comments, or I'll put it down in the description, one or the other. Either way, let me know what do you think. What do you think about the changes? What would you like to see changed? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like. Consider subscribing as well if you want to see more from me. I hope you enjoyed it and have a good night.